Ladies and gentlemen, we are live, your weekly warm up with me and the Waffle Don. But today we won't be by ourselves. We have ourselves a special guest, but we will introduce the guest as we go along. But until then, just right to the intro. Rock on coming in on BBK Sports. Big up. Yes, people, welcome back to BBK Sports. It's your weekly football digest with the Waffle Don called the warm up episode, whatever the hell. I don't even know what episode we're on, but you know it's Friday when the Waffle Don is on BBK Sports and we're doing our thing. Happy Essay Day, my brother. How you feeling?
Yeah, man, I'm feeling good, brother. I'm feeling good, man. Do you know what I'm saying? Just waiting for the medical. Hopefully, the medical goes fine. And don't think he's going to play tomorrow, but that shouldn't be an issue. We've still, playing Leeds tomorrow. No disrespect for Leeds to Leeds, but yeah, man, I'm feeling good, man. I'm feeling good, but I'm never 100% happy, and you should know that. So we're gonna get into it anyway.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it all, people. And before we get all into it, we have normally it's just me and my brother, the Waffle, down here, but we have one of our esteemed viewers that decided to join us today and bless us. Like this guy speaks fluent football, speaks fluent everything. He has a thesis paper, ladies and gentlemen, in socio-historical examination on the evaluation of Cuban citizenship from a Spanish colony to the de facto U.S. colony through revolution and its present-day merit. That is a mouthful. But ladies and gentlemen, here on BBK Sports making his debut, ladies and gentlemen, is Dr. Seymour Butts, the journeyman himself. What you saying to us, bro?
Yo, wagwan, brethren. I mean, like, wow, like, what an introduction. I am certainly not, I certainly don't have the honor to receive all that, but bless you up and bless up to you, Waffle Don. Always, always good to see you both. And, again, I don't want to be stealing any of your thunder, but I just wanted just to join in and just to say, wagwan and just participate here. You know what I mean? So bless up everyone today.
Speaking of stealing thunder, someone, you don't want to steal the thunder. It's cool. But someone else, the Broad Street Bully, is here to hijack and steal your thunder. And you know who it is.
Maybach music.
Do I?
Collar on my polo, kisses on my necklace. All my diamonds watching, now my watch is getting jealous.
Ladies and gentlemen, you know who it is.
Maybach
music is in the building. Let me give him one more.
I think I'm Big Meech, Larry Hoover, whipping work.
Is joining us today. Big up to E-Rouse in the chat. Big up to the Latvian Gooner. Big up to Wahaha. Big up to all the silent listeners who joined BBK Sports today. And I said to Dr. Seymour Butts, happy Essay Day to you, my brother. He is a Arsenal player for all intents and purposes. Tell us how you feel about the Essay signing.
Well, man, I mean, I could imagine, like yourself and like many others here as well, I was not expecting a signing like this whatsoever. I thought that our transfer business was already done. I thought we were going to be going into the season short. I still think that we are to an extent, but I mean, signings like this are massive. Like my only shortcoming is that we had waited this long to make the signing.
Why did we?
That's a bit of the $64,000 question, isn't it? Right? So on one hand, I believe it's a matter of the case of just the club just saying, we don't want to do the business needed to get over the line, because if we did, it means that Mikel Arteta has less and less room to navigate, maneuver around, that he's not like the crux of the problem.
Mm-hmm. So how much stock do you put in the? This is the reaction to the Kai Havertz injury. Is there any
I mean,
connection? Because I believe it is.
I mean, like, I think if we're putting like a percentage at it, I would say like it's 95% entirely direct, or rather entirely related to Kai Havertz's injury. And I said his name. I have to take a shot, so I'm gonna take a shot of this pre-workout right now. But no, man, like I mean, like, you know, and that's like that right there, bro. I think is like the entire irony of it, that that all we hear. So the media always says, like, how we're always like flushing cash. We have, we have a lot of money to spend in the market. The club never spends because they keep on moving as if we're back in 2014 or 2015, as if we have no money to spend at all. And it's super weird. I mean, again, I was not expecting a signing like this. I'm glad we made it. I'm delighted we made it. But I think it was entirely based off of 29 getting injured.
Yeah. Waffle Don. How is it like last week we were being told that we have to sell to buy, and we haven't sold anyone, and we end up buying the player. So they were lying to us the whole time. We've had the money.
Bro, you know what? This club never tell the truth, innit? Do you know what I'm saying? Who's telling the truth? Where's the sources in it coming from? You know, who knows? Who knows the actual truth? Yeah. Remember, there's two sides, and in the middle is the truth. So who knows? You know, the ITKs are there to drip feed us with certain information. They're not going to tell us everything about the club, but we do know that, you know, we were reactive in the market. We saw an opportunity when Havertz got injured. Apparently, the reason why we brought in Eze is because with the Havertz injury, you can play Marino and Trossard up top as well. So we've got Eze that can play on the left or in that attacking midfield role as well, that can obviously cycle the ball to those guys as well. But I don't care. I don't really care about all of that now, because you know what? The club's never going to be honest with us. They're never going to tell us the truth. And at this stage, we've got our player. So unfortunately, the investigation for me is just long, to be honest.
But you know why I just can't just overlook it summarily? Because it speaks to the mentality of the club, and the mentality of the club is important. Because if you don't have the right mentality, you will not win this Premier League title. And if you're always if you're only getting Eze because Kai Havertz was injured, then you're telling me one or two things. You think you could actually win the Premier League without Eze, with a Kai, or you don't want to. So it's hard for me to just, okay, look past, oh, we got him now. He's an Arsenal player. Ray, great signing. Fantastic signing, because we've all wanted him. Everyone in the chat, every Arsenal fan with sense who I know saying we needed an Eze, especially since we have a Gyökeres who needs someone to get him the ball. Right? So it's very hard for me. Like, am I being too harsh, Doc, saying that the mentality isn't where I thought it would be if we're reacting and getting Eze instead of being proactive and getting them?
I mean, I certainly appreciate, wanting to have more outside affirmations, but mate, like, you're being, I mean, like, again, mind you, like, just in case anyone's forgotten, like, we're over 2 decades without a major honors, like, and the fact that we have been dilly-dallying, kicking the can down the curb for so long, so mind you, like, rather, like, always times we were always like 1 to 3 players short. We were always certain types of players missing as well. Like, so for years we were always missing a defensive midfielder. We were then missing like a striker. We were then missing a quality goalkeeper. There are always certain positions that we had historically been missing since the Invincibles. But now at this stage, we spent over £1 billion. Well, if not over £1 billion, it's somewhere in that ballpark range. We have spent so much money, and yet simultaneously, we're still talking about gaps and a lack of quality and depth in the squad. So I mean, like, so we are simply holding the club accountable for the failures, and again, like there's no such thing as failing upwards, and you know, like, and achieving second three times in a row is stagnation. It would be considered stagnation in any other industry across any other business. So no, like you're asking the right questions, and you're also holding, you know, like the correct measure of scrutiny.
Yeah. Waffle Don. Bertha's back on the good side now. Now Bertha went from, hey, what are you doing letting this man go to Spurs when we clearly need him, to back in the kitchen with his apron on. What you saying?
You know what? There's a few things I've got to say right now.
Yeah, go for it, man.
I need to express a few things right now. So, one, Bert is my guy, yeah? But
He's your guy. You've been consistent with that.
my window's still not what you think it is, yeah? If you've done a rating, you're still gonna be surprised about my window. But anyway, that we can get into that. But one thing, okay. Remember you said, yeah, that this team's good enough to win. Did you say a trophy or Premier League?
Yeah, to win something. I wouldn't be upset with Arteta if I thought the team was shit. I'm upset with him because I think this team is good enough.
Okay. Because I don't need my team to be good enough to win something. I need my team good enough to win the Premier League and the Champions League. That's what I need my team to be able to do. Because as Doctor said, 20 plus years without a Premier League title is an absolute embarrassment, abomination of this club. Yeah, we can win the Carabao Cup, the FA Cup 10 times, but it's not gonna have the same feeling of lifting the big ears of the Premier League. Yeah, you remember when Tony Adams had those big ears up in his hand when he was holding, and Vieira and all that kind of stuff. So for me, Bert has done a good job, but as I said, my window is, maybe it's gone up to a 6.5. It was 6. It was hanging around the 6, but it's a 6.5 because I want more players. I want one more player, and I want players gone from the side. So Berta has to see whatever he can do from now to the end of the window, whether it's a transfer deadline day, he gets rid of some of these players. I'll be happy. I still want Rodrigo, yeah, or Semenyo, or someone that can play on the left side. I just don't want to just have Eze just relying on him. I want Eze to also be competing with Odegaard for his spot as well. I want players to have pressure on their necks. You know what I'm saying? I want every position to feel uncomfortable. If you don't play well today, I'm taking your spot. That's how winning teams go about winning big Premier Leagues and Champions Leagues. I don't want to see Saka favorited all the time, never gets taken off, because we won't win a league like that. We need to have pressure. And do you know what? The person that's replacing that player doesn't have to be the same level, but they have to come in and be able to do a job, you know, and that's what I'm expecting. I still don't think we have the mentality to win the big trophies yet, but I might be wrong, and I'm hoping I can be proved wrong.
Yeah, and that's the sticking point for me. Like, I don't think we're there yet to win the big ones. That's why I'm saying win something, and then we build to that. But you have to be leaving the party with something. Doc, what do you rate the transfer window so far?
So as everyone has known, I had always rated it a 2 out of 10 prior to the Eze signing. Now some may say, "Oh, why are we rating it only a 2 out of 10?" So I personally rate a transfer window based off of the players that we need to get over the line, and because much like how you just said so eloquently, Waffled on, we have been waiting for far too long to get the players that we need over the line. And for years, the excuse was, well, we needed to qualify for Champions League in order to attract the big name talents, as well as to have like the financial depth in order to do so. And we are now at that stage, phase 6, and we're still bringing in players like Norgard, that's a problem for me. And as well as bringing players like Kepa. I mean, and again, I mean, he is a backup goalkeeper, and yeah, he was not too expensive, but I want to see someone coming in to potentially replace the current first team player on that sheet. I want someone to be able to come in and potentially replace Raya, because I don't think Raya is the number one keeper. I think he's a solid number two, but I don't think he's a real number one. Um, I, but you know, regarding Berta, I mean, like, abs, like, truly, like, what you had, I mean, like, everything you guys said, there was just so much to take away from that, that I was like in like complete agreement with. So I personally would rate the transfer window higher if we were selling players, but I don't want to blame this on Berta as much as I want to blame this on the club altogether, because I think over time, I think we have developed a reputation in negotiations with other clubs when it comes to either buying players or when it comes to even selling players. So, for example, like when it comes to buying players, I think we have a reputation that oftentimes, like, we're cheap. We try to cut corners, and and ultimately we end up disrespecting that club. And when it comes to selling players, we're oftentimes asking for such an amount that's that's ridiculous. So when we have like squad depth, as it was so politely called several years ago, in the names of like Bambi Lakanga and Fabiana and and Reece Nelson. I mean, like, the clubs that could afford their wages don't want them because they're shit, and the level and the clubs whose level they are on par with, they can't afford the wages. So I feel like we're back in a bit of a catch-22 where we have no choice but to hold on to these players or just potentially release them for free, because there are no clubs in the market that would be going for someone like them at the price point that they're at. And so yeah, overall, I think it's a 5 out of 10 window. I think that there are still several positions that we need to bring in. I think at least three. Thinking like a left winger, I'm thinking a left back, I'm thinking a midfielder as well. I mean, I would love to see Lewis Skelly played in the 8, but I think he's still in development there. I would rather have someone more officially established there. I thought Reinders was a market opportunity. He cost less than Zubimendi. We could have went in for him, but not the kind of player that Arteta's at or in for.
Yeah. I was actually looking at the transfer fee for Reinders this morning when I was on DJ B's channel, and when I saw 57 million euros, I was like, oh damn. You talk about value for money. That guy looks like he's absolutely top draw. Big up to Jason Guna, said, what positions do we not like the competition in? I think there's a huge drop now with the Kai Havertz injury. Gyökeres goes down. What are we doing? Are we putting Trossard there? Are we going back to the Moreno up front? Waffle down.
So very good.
You see how football comes at you quickly, because Kai Havertz was actually known as the Iron Man. He wasn't injury prone. All of a sudden, he's picking up knocks everywhere, here and there, and shit. So are we?
The thing is, where I would prefer players, I think, in certain positions, and Marino, I think I would prefer him, in that forward position, because he doesn't offer anything in midfield. He's too slow, can't tackle. He's actually quite a good finisher, actually. When you look at it as well. Trossard for me is hit and miss, with that position. Yes, he's very technically good, and he kind of played that position for Brighton. But I'll be interesting to see how he does. How his confidence is, how he's able to, pick up balls from deep, and because he's very good at shooting as well from distance as well. So I'll be interested to see how he adjusts himself to that false line, because I wasn't really impressed with him last season in that position. There's another one, market opportunity.
Could have gotten Paulinho as well from Bayern.
Paulinho, that was the one. Instead of Norgard. Yeah,
I would have. He went to Forest, didn't he? Douglas Luiz. He just signed for Nottingham Forest. So Forest are quietly having
he's on loan at Forest, I think.
Yeah, he's having and I think
and just remind me out of curiosity, who's the sporting director at Forest again?
He's an invincible, blood. He's a
So
former
they're told.
invincible. Man, boy, 10. If we wanted a number one goalkeeper, then Martinez was at the club when Arteta took over and won him a trophy too. So the goalkeeping thing is an actual a blunder on his record, to be fair, because he inherited two goalkeepers who were still starting in the Premier League this year, and I think he signed like six goalkeepers since then, and he is still going through it. But the Eze that signing has lifted the spirit of the fan base, based on how he was close to crossing the line at Spurs and all that. So I hear it, I get the elation. But gentlemen, are we finished? Or we still have one more goosebump left to unveil in this window? Because I thought we were done before Eze, and I was wrong, and I was glad to be wrong. So what are we saying?
You go first, Waffle Bomb, my man.
Well, personally, I don't think we should be done. There was links with Morgan Rogers, but there's no way that's happening. 80 million, that's happening. Rodrigo, he doesn't want to be at Real Madrid no more. That's a perfect opportunity for us. I think we do have the money to go out and buy him. If it came down to Real Madrid saying, listen, we want this amount for him, 70 million, because if it's 70 million, please just go and get him. We know you have the money, Arsenal. Yeah, we know, but we don't want to hear excuses of we need to get rid of this, we need to get rid of that. This is what I would want anyway. One more player in, just one more player in, and just get rid of who you can get rid of if you can, because we know we have an excellent negotiator in Berta. So I don't think that'll be an issue with negotiation. It's just how the club, we've already bought Eze now for nearly 70 million. Are we going to be prepared to risk it all and go in for Rodrigo? Because Rodrigo talk has been ongoing since the window started. So there must be some smoke, there must be something there. But we will see in it, because the thing is, if Liverpool don't get Isak, there's so many things going on here. City sell Savinho to Tottenham. If that happens, then Rodrigo goes to City more than likely. Liverpool don't get Isak, then Liverpool have an opportunity to go for Rodrigo as well. So there's going to be some type of bidding or some kind of something there. So yeah, listen, if it was me, if I was the manager, me, I would want a left back, I would want another striker, and I would want a left winger. But that's not going to happen. And you know what? Let's bolster our attack. Our midfield's decent. Our defense is very excellent. Let's just bolster our attack as much as we can. Yeah, Rodrigo, bring him in, because he's going to be the main man if he gets that position, and that's the position. That's the person that I want, or a Semenyo. One of those two.
What you saying, Doc?
Yeah, I mean, you said it absolutely eloquently there as well, my man. I think there's a lot of. I think our transfer activity is a massive reflection of the current power struggle between Berta and Arteta. I think on one hand, Arteta has still shown some incumbent power and authority, bringing in players that he wanted, like for example, like Madueke, like Kepa, like Norgard. But Berta has also been able to flex his muscles as well, bringing in the likes of Gyökeres and Eze, because I don't believe Gyökeres or Eze were either wanted by Arteta. I believe that I believe that he was actively opposed to those signings because they're just not the type of players or profiles that he's interested in. So to that end, I don't expect any more signings, but if we do, I think that's only a reflection of how much perhaps sway Berta is getting inside of the club. And I also think additionally, I think if we do sign, say, like I don't think we would sign Rodrigo, but let's say we do. Let's say, you know, we just like completely shell shock everyone, right? You know, like complete like Iraq, Afghanistan, you know, occupation, like shock and awe, right?
Mhm.
Let's say we do something like that. That to me is the Cronkies telling Arteta, this is your final year, win or fuck off.
Mhm.
Because there's no, because again, like, I personally think that Cronky have rather we've been very limited in the market because I believe that's just as I believe that that's just like one. I believe that that's like one of the primary excuses that Arteta and his little Arteta sexuals can say. Mikel doesn't have his full squad yet. He doesn't have all of his full pieces yet. He doesn't have everything. He's not all the tools in the tool shed to get over the line. But what happens when you do get all the tools and you're rather at your disposal? Because getting an Eze, a Gyökeres, and a Rodrigo, that's pretty fucking significant. And it's gonna be a very large ask, both on a performance scale as well as a financial scale, right? Because because let's say that we do get Rodrigo, that's at least what 80 to 85 million more pounds, and that
Mhm.
would and that would be like a transfer window of what I think possibly north of 300 million. You
Yeah.
know, like that's I mean. From a business perspective, Cronkies can't be saying, you know, like, oh yeah, you know, we'll just give you this much, but you know, no results at the end as long as you give us Champions League qualification. I don't know. I can't personally see it.
Yeah. Yeah, I think Top said it yesterday as well. He said, you know, the fact that they're going, the Cronkies are moving the way that they do, because realistically speaking, without Eze, we could probably get top four. I think that's a safe bet.
Mhm.
So they didn't have to get. So they're getting Eze for a reason, right? So you know they said before the season end, if he gets Gyökeres, he wins the league. Okay, we got Gyökeres. Now we got someone who can actually play in a creative capacity to get, you know, Gyökeres. Now I'm holding the Gyökeres. I've always said 18 to 22 Premier League goals. I'm holding him to that. And I'm hearing 15 to 18 now. Right? We need you at Arsenal Football
I
Club.
said 25, didn't I? I said 25. I think.
Yeah, so you know he's
And
got.
I believe he can do that.
Yeah, but you know it all depends on the Arteta tax. You know, now the elephant in the room is like, how will he be deployed? Now that we got him, you know, Doc said, you know, you don't think he's a Bertha signer, Arteta signer, which I agree with. He's here. I'm hearing a lot of left wing shouts now, right? But we know where Eze does his best damage. How do you think the manager going to deploy him, Waffle Down? Now, you think he's going to force him out left, or he's going to move Odegaard to the left 8, or let Declan or Zubimendi sit as the lone 6 and then play? He has to use him somehow. This is big money.
If you watch Eze, yeah, he plays in that left midfield. He's not a touchline winger. Yeah, he's not a winger. He's a left midfielder, left cam. So if you watch the way he plays, yeah, so he starts deep in that left cam position because he likes to stay quite high up the pitch. If you notice, if we're gonna have a lot of the ball as well, yeah, and the thing is as well, this is what he does as well, yeah. So his position, yeah, for me, yeah, is gonna be that left mid cam. It's not gonna be touchline. He's gonna be just tucked in, yeah. What he's great at as well is counter attacks with the ball. He's very good at carrying the ball. And what he's very good at that Martinelli isn't good at, yeah, is he's very good at cutting inside, you know, dropping his shoulder, going past a couple of men and banging it top corner. If you've seen his highlight reels, yeah, for the games he's played, yeah, I know everyone on YouTube, but we've seen him live. We've seen him play live, BBK and you know Doctor. We've seen Eze play live and score some bangers. Sometimes he's not always in the game, but he's clutch. When it comes to certain moments, Eze is very clutch. If you saw him in the cup final against City, it was brilliant. And he can also, he's that intelligent that he won't just stick to that left side position as well. You know, here comes central, do you know what I'm saying? He'll pop up in different spots. But who knows how Arteta is going to deploy him? If Arteta's a smart guy, which he's supposed to be a genius, by the way, and he's supposed to be intelligent, then he will look at the way Glasner deploys Eze. Yeah, because Eze's a special player. Yeah. You know, you don't tell Eze what to do. Eze does what Eze does. Yeah. Let him do what he does on the pitch. I don't want to see all this zone and he's got to be in this zone. No. Let Eze give him the ball and let him drive with the ball and let him perform his magic with the football.
Yeah.
Tara doesn't look impressed. You don't look impressed.
Big up to the chat. We got 27 locked in. Hey, make sure you are subscribing to the Waffle Don TV. We do this every Friday. Big up to everyone in the comment section. The legends always here supporting. Would you start him at Anfield? Not to look past Leeds, but look past Leeds.
He's not going to pay at Leeds. He's not going to pay at Leeds. I
don't think he's registered, isn't it? He had to be registered by noon, right? So
yeah,
looking at Anfield, the first possible game that he could play, would you start him there? Because I'm looking at Anfield, I'm looking at that as a must-win.
Yes. Listen, someone is talking my language for once. I'm glad you said that. Because if I heard you say I'll be happy with a point, then I'll be disappointed because you know what?
We've gotten a point there the past 3 seasons. It's time to take the next step.
We've not won there since 2012.
Right.
So if you want to have ambition and you want to win these leagues, then you have to go to Anfield and beat them. Frimpong's got a hamstring injury. He's out. They've got Wirtz. He's not really started, really great in his first game. We have to go there. And yes, I would start Eze, to be honest. I would start him.
Yeah. Doc, would you start him at Anfield?
Fuck yeah. Not even a question. I mean, I think that's I think there's a bit of give and take in that scenario. So if it's a player who's perhaps not as familiar with the league, not as familiar with the opposition that's being played, and perhaps there always can be a little bit of nerves, just rather being somewhere new in a in a completely different environment. Well, in that regard, I do appreciate it, but we're all talking about someone who has played in the league at least since what, 2020. Because I think prior to that he was with QPR previously. So man knows Liverpool. He knows what he's going up against. And even I think above all else, for me, we're spending money on a player who is supposed to be ready-made and who can walk into the first team and start producing results. That's exactly what we need. So I'd be starting our strongest 11.
Speaking of which, I'm not sure I know what that is anymore. Our strongest 11. Does our strongest 11 deploy? Who does our strongest 11 deploy at left back or right back? We know our center backs, our goalkeeper, right wing, our midfield is gonna. But I'm not sure I know what our strongest. Now, is that a good thing? Is it a good thing so we can show some unpredictability, right? Where versus teams know, okay, this is going to be the starting 11 on Sunday. This is how we prepare for him. Do we see a case where he deploys 1-6 and Odegaard and Eze to go attack teams? What's our best 11? That's in the chat as well. I don't know. I'm not sure anymore, and I'm not sure if that's a good thing or a bad thing. This is not a dig at Arteta.
That's a good question, and you can only learn that through playing games, through consistency, winning games. I know who my back four is, and I'll stick to this. However rash he's been recently, I'm still going for Timber. Obviously, the two main centre backs, Saliba and Gabriel, and I'm going for Skelly still. I'm still going to put Skelly in that left back position. Now, here's where it gets a bit techie for me, because you can have your best team names, but you also got to have players that are in form right now as well.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we don't know what the experiment's going to look like with Eze, Rice, and Zubimendi. So if we're looking at names on paper, that's probably the three I'm playing in midfield: Eze, Zubimendi, and Rice. If not, then I'm going for a Rice, and I'm going for this is my ideal: Zubimendi, Rice with Eze and Odegaard in front of him. That's what I'm going for, yeah.
Mm.
And then up top, Saka, Gyökeres. Oh gosh, man. Oh, man. See, nah.
And
When I
this
just
is
thought the
getting
left
tricky.
wing now. When I just thought the left wing, I just thought, maybe
What do you
Trossard.
think about Ethan out there, Waffle?
Oh, Ethan,
What
where?
do you think of that? What do you think of the thought of Ethan playing out wide on the left side? Because
Yeah, he could definitely.
Saka was not born a right winger. He started in the left way back there.
Yes.
And I've seen him play left wing a couple of times. So, you know, like, gotta try a thing, innit?
What's that? What's Caps put out? Because Calafiori isn't really great defensively as well. You've got to have a balance as well. It's not just about attacking. You have to have a balance as well. I want to see what Caps' lineup says. He's got Raya. Sorry, I'm taking over the show.
So personally, I would I like the whole Timber at right back, Skelly at left back. I mean, I think idealistically that would be the way forward. However, I do believe that Skelly is more of a center mid. I would like to see Skelly develop more to a midfielder than a left back. I think he could be a quality left back though. But I'm also not opposed to the idea of Timber at left back and White at right back for certain, for certain matches. I think White has dropped off a little bit, but Calafiori, I don't even want to see him in the back line. I really don't. Like I actually, and I mean, like as crazy as it sounds, I wouldn't mind him. I wouldn't mind seeing him at left wing. You know, like again, you know, like why not? I mean, he's already shown more attacking threat than say like defensive threat. Same thing with Mikel Merino. You know, like he's a shit DM, but he's decent as like a false nine. In midfield, I mean, I'm very much an advocate of the philosophy of, you know, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. And it still has never been very clear to me as to why we had departed from that type of midfield that we had back in the day with a Vieira and Gilberto Silva, where we basically had like two DMs like sitting at the back, but one of them had the luxury and freedom to rather to join in the attack. So I would opt for like a Rice Zubimendi, you know, like base in midfield, with Zubimendi being allowed to move forward into the final third. Eze in the 10, and then have Gyökeres up front. I also I think someone had mentioned putting Saka at left wing. I don't think that's a bad idea either. I wouldn't be opposed to that, but I think it'd be worthwhile to see Nwaneri or even Dowman for that matter on either wing to see what they can do. Because I mean, because certainly I would be more excited to see them than I would be to see Martinelli, you know, like doing the same thing that he's always doing with no end product, and Trossard, who's either drunk half the time and the other half time he doesn't even want to be here.
You know what? You know, for me, I want to be able to go in some games where we can rest a Declan Rice and still feel a strong midfield, i.e. Declan is on the bench and we have Zubimendi in the 6, Odegaard left as the end of 10, and we go attack teams. Like I want to see, like, Liverpool have a title winning midfield, right? Of Gravenberch, McAllister, and Szoboszlai. There will be games where their record signing in Florian Wirtz will not start. Mm-hmm. So when people tell me like, "Oh, we can't Declan, he's our record signing," what? Bro, I've seen Kevin De Bruyne on the bench not start in a title run-in for Manchester City when they started Bernardo Silva, Gundogan, and Rodri. You know, so are we meant to think that Declan's going to play every game? And I think Odegaard will play every game this season. Because of
why do you say that though?
Because he's not going to bench his captain because Tony called him out. I believe his ego will get in the way of him. If we usually say if Saka can walk, he plays. If Odegaard can stand up, he starts this season. He is not going to let an outside influence dictate how he manages this team, my brother. And I'm telling you, that's going to impact the minutes that Ethan gets, the minutes that Dowman gets. Because he's not gonna. Because if he drops Odegaard, he looks weak. I really do. And
so Odegaard been putting some performances. Then he best be putting in some
Yeah.
7 out of 10 performances each game. Then, if that's the
Yeah,
case,
he wasn't great against even that's what I'm saying, and that would be to the detriment of the team because against Man United he was not great.
People say he was good. I don't know where they got that from.
Great either. And at the back of getting criticism, you had an opportunity to make a statement in a big game because that's what we want our captain to rise, right? In a big game. Is there a bigger game is there a bigger game than Old Trafford away for Arsenal Football Club?
Not really.
You know what I'm saying? Like for the new age fans, it's Tottenham. But nah, brother, this is our biggest Premier League rival. OT away. Back in the day, we won that game or we didn't lose that game, we won the league. The winner of that fixture, because we would beat everybody else. It's just that ground that we would go struggle, even with our invincible team, with our O2 team. Because we won the league there on that ground in 2002. So that was a big game for him to make a statement. Now, go on.
I apologize. No, what I would contend is that so last year, if we recall, Odegaard had picked up a knock in the earlier part of the first half of the season, and he was out for about maybe like a month or two, right? If I recall correctly. And if we also recall, Ethan did not get a single start in that time. So to your point, I totally hear you that that as long as Pillowfoot breathes, he will start. But with the Eze signing, I don't think I'm as confident in saying that anymore. I think that as we know, this club loves to operate in smoke and mirrors. And they love to say one thing and do something else, and then inversely, they love to do something and then say something completely else. I would not be surprised if Martin does find the bench, if not even getting the captaincy stripped off of him, depending on how the season goes. I mean, if we're in October, or rather, if we reach October and we're not in a European spot, I think a lot of questions are gonna be asked. So I don't know. I think I'm really excited to see the influence that Berta is going to have on squad selections moving forward, especially because again, you can't really bench the third highest transfer in club history, so frequently, right?
Well, you can.
You can.
Yeah, I see big managers make big calls, but yeah, it's a tough one. It's a sticky one, and but I really do. I believe this with conviction that Odegaard will play no matter what because he has to be the strongest in the room. Little Napoleon, he has to.
But you say he will start. But he won't finish every game. He won't play the whole game.
Yeah, fair point.
If he's not performing.
Yeah, fair point. But to what cost? Right? Do you keep him on for 87 minutes during the stinker when you could have hooked him at 60? Because we've seen him do against PSG. He was stinky. He played 85 minutes. Ethan comes on, gives Martinelli a chance that he kicks out the stadium. But Odegaard played 85 minutes in that game.
Did Odegaard play the whole game last week? Mm-hmm. Did he? Oh, he did.
He played the whole game. He played the whole game. Saka played. I think Saka played a full 90. He played a full 90. Gabriel coming back from a hamstring played a full 90. Yeah. So.
What do you feel about? I know you talk about Odegaard playing every game, but what about Saka playing every game as well? Don't you have concerns about him playing? Even when he's stinky, he plays.
Made a concerns. I've made a concerns, but when I see Madueke come on every time and he comes on the left for Martinelli, but we were told that Madueke was a backup for Saka. Now he could be both. There could be a world where he could be both, where Martinelli comes off, or Saka. Say we are up 2-0 comfortably. Saka comes off, Madueke goes right wing. And it could be very well rotation, but I'm very concerned about Saka because right now he does look off of it. His crosses are not beating the first man. He looks like he lost the step. Very concerned. I'm not gonna lie. What you saying, Doc? What do you think of Saka's form thus far, preseason and Man United away?
Disconcerting. I mean, first thing I think of is two words: Jack Wilshere.
Jack Wilshere.
It seems like he has lost a little bit of pace in his step. I've said it before. I'll say it again. I've seen him do more step overs in a New Balance ad than I have, seen him do in 90 minutes on a pitch. Um, and I've also noticed that he's always looked more electric playing with England than he has with us. So I think that the manager is continuing to mismanage his minutes, and mismanage his health. I am I'm very concerned that he's not going to be rotated out properly this year. And I swear, if he re-aggravates that injury, it's a lot of cards are going to be tumbling down.
Yeah, Jason, I don't remember, bro, like that. And that's the fact that I had to look up at the sky and try to think about this.
1 in 16.
Yeah, I remember his goal at the Bernabeu, but you said league, so I really had to, dig deep. Was it against when he came back against Fulham? Was it Fulham when he scored the header? Was it that one from when he came back from the injury?
Who's that?
It may have been that one, but the statistic is, for all you Arteta sexuals that love statistics and calculators and shit, he's had 1 league goal in the last 16 league matches going back to last year.
Yeah. So this is the season we're expecting Saka, because Saka should kick on this year, right? He has Eze in the team now.
We hope so.
He has Eze. He got a striker who can drag defenders out of position. But all that we're saying should happen, but there's we still have to keep in mind that there is some Arteta tax that had to be applied, because we don't look like a team that's played together for a while and full free. For
me, sorry to cut. For me, Saka looks like he's playing for himself right now. He looks like he's playing within himself. He's playing for himself. It's almost like he wants to prove to himself that he's back. But I just think Saka just needs to relax a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Just do the easy stuff that you were used to doing before. Because he's getting the ball, he's trying to take on guys. His feet just look all muddled up at the moment. You've got other players now that can help you within the team now. You don't have to be like the main guy having to score the goals and stuff like that. You've got better players. Well, questionable better players in the team now that should be able to help you, and it will come. The goals will come. The assists will come. I just think he's just trying too hard at this moment.
Yeah, Cole Palmer and Saka cooking in the prayer. Yeah, right. Like Cole Palmer's been in the rut as well, but the problem is they picking up trophies along the way. So all that, the Jack Grealish effect. Jack Grealish scored like 14 goals in the entire 4 years at Man City, but no one cares because he was lifting trophies. Yeah, 100 mil. Flop of the century, but winning heals all. But gentlemen, match week 2, an opportunity presents itself for Arsenal Football Club, our beloved Arsenal, to possibly go top of the table with a big win. And depending on other results, we got Leeds, newly promoted, Daniel Farke, Mr. Promotion relegation, Mr. Yo-Yo himself when he was at Norwich. You think he goes into a low block, Doc, or you think he actually plays football at the Emirates and allow us to cook him 4-0 and sing and dance and say we got our Arsenal back?
Part of me is going to say that he's going to go with a low block, just because we are so predictable and so easy to set up against. If managers going in to a match against us play so openly and freely, you really have to question their intelligence.
Yeah. Well done. Must win.
Every game must win. Every game's a must win in my eyes. I think tomorrow. See, we've not got Eze through the door yet, so I think if we got a hangover from last week, then it better not show tomorrow, because I will not be happy. At the Emirates doesn't seem to be, the place that we love anymore, because anyone could come to the Emirates, frustrate us after 15, 20 minutes, come out, play football against us. So I hope that we score a goal early in the first 5 to 10 minutes to settle down everyone, settle the players down, settle the crowd down. Because if they frustrate us for 20 minutes or so, I'm not saying that we won't win the game. Yes, yeah. Captain, make sure he's captain of FPL tomorrow, so don't worry about that. I just feel that I feel that we need an early goal, because if we score an early goal, I think it's going to be floodgates. The only thing for me, sorry, go on, Doctor.
No, I'm sorry, no.
No, go on.
Oh, sorry. Okay. Yeah. The only thing for me is that I don't think Leeds is as bad a side as people are making out. They have got a few tricky little ballers. Now, we need to be setting the precedent, to be honest, by the way. Yeah, we are Arsenal. Yeah, these are new promoted team. Big up to my aunts, Leeds fan as well in hospital. Big up to you. Did tell him yesterday that we're going to smash them up tomorrow, but yeah, we need to put precedent down tomorrow. Do you know what I mean? We need to go out and we need to beat them. I don't care if it's a 2-1, a 1-0, whatever. We just need to beat them tomorrow.
Yeah. Pressure on Gyökeres to score, Doc. We need him. We need him firing going to Anfield, do we not?
He needs to start firing on all cylinders, and what I had wanted just to kind of like piggyback on on Waffle Don style was that we should be comfortably beating them tomorrow. It should be like a 3-4-0 victory. It should be business as usual, if you will. Right. So that and business as usual in this context, meaning, our striker getting 2 goals, it also means, Odegaard, showing up. It also, it also means, players that perhaps, like, for example, Zubimendi plays, that will be a good game for him to, to get a trial run at home, like, before he goes to Anfield. But again, like, these players also need to realize. So, like, my concern that sits in the back of my mind is that these players are looking past this game and they're already looking at Anfield, and that's why that they're not going to have that's why they're not going to have why they're going to have a more blunted response against Leeds. So I'm hoping that they are still focusing on this game, but again, they do what they need to do. They get the ball to Gyökeres, they defend well. Rather, like, we've been relatively, like, consistently defending well, but we just need to get our attack on. Like, we need to show a lethality in the final third. We need to show precision. We need to show, like, pinpoint accuracy, and above all else, like, we need to increase the tempo in our passing, in our rhythm, because I think that we are far too static as well as far too side to side. We need to be much more direct. So I'm hoping that I'm hoping that we do well, but part of me is concerned that they may be looking too much to Anfield. So yes, Gyökeres needs to score. Absolutely important for sure.
I'm not. I'm not. I should be concerned about Gyökeres like most people are, but I'm not, because here's the thing: if he was getting chances and missing them, but he's not getting the chance. I think we create 2 chances for him tomorrow. He bags one of them, because even the Bilbao game, that wasn't a clear cut chance. That header, that was a half chance, and bang. So I think we feed him and give him chances. He's banging, and I need him to score going to Anfield, because, like I said, I'm looking at that Anfield game. Not like I'm looking past Leeds, but I'm looking past these. You're a newly promoted side coming to the Emirates. Burnley was a newly promoted side going to Tottenham, and they held 3. Come on, professional performance, do the business, and we move. We'll have 2 extra days of rest because Liverpool don't play till Monday night. So get the business done, get off the pitch, and just I'm going 2-0. What you saying, Waffle Dan? You going for a KG score, or you comfortable 2-win at that?
Well, you should have asked me the score before, innit? Because now your result has kind of like.
Man, your results based on your analysis of the game and what you think.
To be honest, I was going to go for a 2-1 Arsenal.
Okay.
I think Leeds probably score a jammy goal, so maybe a 2-1.
Doc?
3-0. Should be
3-0. Gyökeres hat trick, yeah?
Ooh, I would love that. I'm gonna say Gyökeres 2 goals, and I'm gonna say Saka with 1.
Saka, yeah. Is that true that he's the designated penalty taker now, or that's just internet waffle? I saw something floating around that he's been elected to take the penalty, to take the pens over from Saka, which I'd like. Which is, I want my striker to take the pens still. Not gonna lie.
I'm hoping so.
Yeah, but yeah. So comprehensive. There's no such thing as you can win the league in August, but I'd be shocked and go into like a pre-meltdown mode if we drop points at home to fucking Leeds, brother. Like we can't let these men come and do a West Ham. No. There's no excuses if we drop this. But crazier things have happened. But gentlemen, there are other fixtures this weekend that are quite interesting near the top of the table as well. Before we get to the Liverpool-Newcastle game, which is going to be a mad one. The presumed champions by a lot of people. I still got Liverpool, but I'm going to do my predictions when the transfer window closes. But Man City host their quote-unquote bogey team at the Etihad. What we saying for that one? We run through a couple of predictions before we wrap up.
Sorry, what was the question?
Man City Tottenham prediction for that one. Thomas Frank.
Hard one.
New look Spurs going to pep and the boys.
Do you know what? I think City are gonna beat them tomorrow. I know they don't really get much joy playing against Spurs, but Spurs, they're looking different. It's up against Thomas Frank. I'm going to go the opposite way. I think Thomas Frank is a very good manager, but I think his tactics are going to let him down tomorrow. I think he's going to maybe try the low block thing, and I just think City are just going to be too much. So I'm going to go for a 3-1 Man City.
Doc, what you saying? City Tottenham.
I don't know. For some reason, I see a very high-scoring match. I see like a 5-2 City. Honestly,
wow, that'd be a good game. Big up Godfrey in the building, man.
Yeah, big up to Godfrey every single time.
I like that score line as well that he's put there as well.
Brother. I don't think Thomas Frank concedes 5 goals to City. Nah, not one bit. Nah. So let's remember, like last year, an injury-riddled Tottenham team.
They do.
Yeah?
I think to this City team, they do.
Really? So here's the thing. Last year, I seen these Tottenham men lose to Ipswich at home, the Tractor Boys, then go to City without Van de Ven, without Romero, and beat them 4-0.
Yeah, but that was a bad City last season. City's no way going to be as bad as they were last season.
Yeah, but this is a better Tottenham as well. I think Kudus improves them, and they got a better manager who's not going to just play on the halfway line, So I think they get something out of it. I think they go down there and do a 1-1, So yeah, big up to. Oh, I can't even get the words out, so I'm just gonna skip past that. Now that we got Wahaha in the chat, them men were up for it against us last weekend, and I said the Man United side they can get up for it at Arsenal and then go shit the bed at Fulham. They are away at Fulham. What are we saying for that one?
2-1 Fulham.
Doc, you think Fulham can turn Man United over?
No, I think that's going to be a draw. I see a 1-1 draw there.
Yeah, I agree with the Doc. Yeah, I think Fulham is going to get something out of that one too, man. I think Fulham, because they barely beat Fulham last year. It was a Xerxes toe poke, last-minute goal. Man United, there's a letdown there. I'm not sure they even know what style of play they're going to be running. But the big one, man, the Isak Derby, Monday night. I think St. James's Park is gonna have so much hatred for the Liverpool team, man. They might even throw eggs at the bus. So this is a tough one. It's a game of consequence. Liverpool put 4 goals on the board last week. City put 4 goals on the board. They will know the Man City result going into the game, so they Liverpool, Newcastle, gentlemen, the champions of the Premier League, going away to St. James's Park. What do they do? Big up, Gary. Go ahead, waffle down.
Liverpool got this is going to be a fight, you know. This is going to be an absolute fight. I'm going to sit on the fence 2-2.
2-2, yeah.
You know, so I was thinking the same thing because I totally agree with you. I mean, I think it's going to be cagey. It's going to be violent on and off the pitch. Like it's I think it's going to be high scoring as well. But I think it's also going to be a draw. I think it's going to be 3-3.
3-3. I don't know who, man. I don't see Liverpool score. I don't see Newcastle scoring 3 goals.
You know what it is though, BBK, yeah? It's like the start of the Premier League, isn't it? And like it's not going to be settled yet. So there's going to be some crazy results, I think, over this weekend. I don't think it's just going to be just boring 1-0s and stuff like that. Maybe with some of the lower teams, but I think there's going to be a lot of goals in games this weekend for some reason. I don't know. Sometimes we have these crazy Premier League weekends where, you know, the weather's good. You know, teams are really hungry out there and score loads of goals as well. So yeah, I think there's going to be a lot of goals this weekend. And if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I think it's going to be they're going to be up for this one, man. They're going to be up for Liverpool, just trying to railroad their season.
Who's their striker though? Who's Newcastle striker?
Don't know.
Is it
Gordon? I think they played Gordon false 9 in a couple of the games, and it really hasn't worked. They couldn't break down a 10-man.
That's the problem.
Yeah, I think they'll make it.
Isn't playing. Oh,
nah, he's not. Yeah, he's nowhere near the pitch.
Salute? Oh, he's young though, isn't he?
I think they're gonna make it very difficult for Liverpool. You know, it's gonna late game, still 0-0, and everyone think Liverpool is gonna drop points, and then bang.
1-0, really? Okay.
Yeah. I think Newcastle will set up in a way where we are not conceding to these men. And yeah, late minute winner. I think Liverpool just find one of those champions wins. You know, not as ugly as our 1-0 away at United, but they will have a couple of chances. But they will bag one. They just do it, man. They just always find a way to fucking do it. Yeah, I want to see Bruno and Joe Linton punch man up in the midfield and all that. But, you know, Gordon in the 9 has not been convincing. No Frimpong and Bradley would be rough on the right. But yeah, Newcastle just don't have that clinical finisher. I think Elanga and Gordon will be switching a lot against Liverpool. I think Van Dijk and Konate will deal with that, man. You know, I think, you know, just Murphy. Yeah, I'm just not convinced by Murphy either. Yeah, I think Liverpool.
Play right back, Gomez. Because both Bradley and Frimpong are out.
I don't know. Mr. Backwood, who's playing right back for you on Monday night?
Probably Gomez. I can't think of who else is going to play in that position.
Yeah, I think Liverpool do it, man. But that's the marquee games, man. We have, you know, a couple other games. We got Villa, Brentford. You know, not really some, you know, some exotic games, but yeah, those are the main ones. Oh, today, gentlemen, we got Chelsea, West Ham today.
West Ham, yeah. This is a game. I think West Ham are getting beat up, man. 3-0 Chelsea. 3-0 Chelsea. That's my highest goals today. 3-0.
What you saying, Doc?
West Ham are in trouble, honestly. Like, they really need to do something in the market, because I think they could possibly be in relegation territory this year. Yeah. They're in trouble. Yeah, 3-0 sounds good, but I think they'll get a goal, so I'll say 3-1 Chelsea.
Yeah, I'm going 3-1 as well.
No.
Yeah, I think yeah. Matter of fact, I got Cole Palmer captain my FPL. He better rise today against this shit.
Who's your Cole Palmer?
Yeah, Cole Palmer. Because I got, it's usually Mo Salah, but they got Newcastle. I'm not sure he'll bag, but Cole Palmer must bag against this West Ham team. Like, come on, brother. You know, a dodgy pen. He'll take the pens. KJSJ7 says Sobozlai will play right back.
Yeah. Well, he can do a job there, I suppose.
Yeah.
Bonsoir right back. Okay.
Yeah, I can hear it. Yeah, damn. West Ham, man. No one giving West Ham a puncher's chance. Nothing. Big up
Nah,
to the
West
Morgan
Ham,
Blue.
not with Potter, man, not with Potter. I've been saying Potter's a fraud for a long time, but
Really? Because I
yeah,
know a lot of
like,
Arsenal fans wanted him when he was cooking at Brighton.
yeah. Well, at Brighton, he was excellent, wasn't he? Wow.
Is if the grass was greener isn't true as a person,
Yeah,
it would
100%.
be that guy because
100%.
he was good at Brighton, but I don't. Yeah, it's hasn't been a good look for him, man. But yeah, I think West Ham will get a point 2-2. Okay, fair play. I'm here for it. I'd love a West Ham 1-0.
Wilson, isn't it? West
Yeah,
Ham.
then if they do another 1-0, then Chelsea will go into match week 3 haven't scored a goal. Big up to the timeless Gooner says Chelsea 3-1.
Tremendous.
Fair play.
Big up, Tremendous, man.
Yeah,
Big up to you, my brother. Well, man.
Yeah, but gentlemen, Waffle Down, you got any watch-alongs coming up for the weekend planned or what?
Yeah, Arsenal tomorrow. Going to be doing the Arsenal versus Leeds watch along tomorrow. Catch me in my daily waffles. Do you know what I do in morning times? I do them afternoons, but mainly in the morning. 5 Guns on the Sunday. Hopefully, you guys are there and all that. But yeah, those are my 3 main type of streams probably over the weekend. I don't even know if Galatasaray are playing as well, because if they're playing I might do a watch along, but it depends. But yeah, people, just catch me at Waffle Don. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new, if you've never heard of the Waffle Don. On your head top, make sure you come and subscribe to me, and you know what I'm saying, let's do the journey together, people.
You heard it. You have a FPL code. You have a league. You manage a league.
Yeah, I've got a league, man.
Yeah, you can type it in the chat. Type it in the chat.
Oh, is it? Oh, hold on.
Yeah. Yeah, Doc, while he's doing that, man, can you tell us, appreciate you joining us today, man. It's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Dr. Seabrook. But what you saying, man? What you got coming up on the American public servant front?
Hey, well, thank you for having me. This was absolutely brilliant, and again, so I hope this was all copacetic, but no, this was absolutely lovely. Thank you for having me. So on my channel, at America's Public Servant, we are going to be launching some pre-recorded videos on policy areas in the United States that are relative to the quality of life, or shall we say, like the lack thereof, and diminishing returns on the quality of life, like over the last several decades, and what we are going to be looking to do to mitigate and rectify those issues moving forward. So if you have any interest in that, if you live in the States or if you live abroad, and you want to check it out, we absolutely love your support. But today, I'm going to be making my family recipe bolognese, because I will be hosting my sister and brother-in-law and my niece and nephew tomorrow for dinner. So, going to be stepping back into century-old Tuscany era. So it's going to be very nice. And just going to enjoy the Friday as it is, man. Beautiful skies. Absolute lovely day today, man.
Even here as well, even in London, it's blue skies as well, man. I can't believe it. It's beautiful, man. It's beautiful.
So. So you heard it, people. He's a doctor, he's a chef, he's all that, and he's an Arsenal fan, and he's predicting us to slap Leeds up 3-0 tomorrow. So, we're gonna take the doc's sage advice, and the Arsenal are gonna do the business. We'll be riding a high going into Anfield. Yep, we can't have it any other way. For the first. When you ask most people leading up to the season, like our first 3 games, I didn't see a whole lot of people saying 9 points from the first 3. Matter of fact, I see people say 1 or 2 points from the first 3 games. But we beat Leeds and we go to Anfield, 7 minimum, but 9 is ideal. Right? We agree?
I won in 9 points from the get-go. I don't believe we should be sitting here and saying we'll be happy with a point. I don't believe we should be, because It depends how the game goes as well, I suppose. Yeah, there's always got to be context, I suppose. If we're losing 2-0 and we draw it back to 2-2 like we did against Liverpool end of the season, then there's context to everything, isn't it? But right now, at this moment, to go there and make a statement, I would love that. Oh, I need to copy the code as well.
Yeah, I can't pin it from the
That's
StreamYard.
cool. Cool.
Pin it in there.
I'll put it in again.
You know, I don't know. I'm all, brother. I had a shit week last week with FBL, so I don't. It might be even. I'm already behind.
Same here as well.
I think I got 35 points, bro. So.
Oh well, at least I got more than that. At least I got more than that.
I was hurt, man. Nowhere near it. So, but yeah, I'm like, how many people in your league?
Probably not that many, but let's have a look.
Okay, good. Because I need the small ones. Those are the ones that I can. I have a chance. And then the leagues with 6,700. Nah, I don't want to be in those. I like the small league settings. You know, so yeah, I might join. So yeah.
1, 2, probably about 10, 11.
Okay, that's
actually hold on. I've not even gone into my league. Hold on. I've got 15. 15
yeah, that's perfect. Yeah, that's right up my alley. 10 to 20 people. Then I have a realistic chance of doing something. And I'm especially coming in a week behind the curve. But yeah. But so if you join the league now, do you start on? Yeah, you do. Yeah, you're a match week behind. If you join, mostly your points do not transfer, unfortunately. Hopefully they update that soon. But yeah, man, I want to big up Dr. Seymour Bus for joining us today. It was a pleasure, my bro. Big up to the Waffle Down, my stream partner in crime, every Friday. Unless there's something crazy happens, we will be here predicting the games, and we will be reviewing the games on the 5 Guns on his channel right after the Arsenal game. So people, let's all stay connected. Make sure you are subscribed to the Waffle Don's channel. Make sure you are subscribed to Dr. Seymour Butts. Like I always say, take care of yourselves and each other. Until next time, we are gone.